Yes, hey guys, this is Hansaurus Rex, and today we'll be looking at the perfect effect PE-DX09 Mega Doragon. It's supposed to be dragon, but okay. Doragon Megatron, Transmetal Megatron. Yes. Alright guys, so based on the pictures we can find online, it seems like Perfect Effect has created a perfect Transmetal Megatron, the Megatron in its dragon form that was featured in season 3 of the Beast Wars series. So as you can see, this is the front facade of the box. You can see, just look at the smile, look at the snarl. No, you can see on Megatron's face, it looks exactly the same. And you can see some of the features of the bodies as well. The wings, the head sculpture especially. That's Megatron right there, ladies and gents. No, that's Megatron. Alright, so that's the front facade. Let's take a look at the side. So it's just a bit more extension of the wings, and we have the head of the dragon. I think Fans Hobby attempted to create a Transmetal Dragon Megatron, but it somehow had two heads, which I don't understand why. But I guess it's just artistic freedom on Fans Hobby's side, I guess. Alright, so we have the blueprints. We have the blueprint for the toy itself. It's quite a big box. As you can see here I have, for scale, I'm not sure whether this would help. For scale is Masterpiece Beast Wars Cheeto. Right, I like you, pussycat. Yes. Sorry guys, I just can't help it. I'm a bit excited about this Megatron, so yeah, just look at that. A close-up of the head sculpt from Megatron. Alright, more extended fold for the wings, so you can imagine what it looks like. I assume it's gonna be huge. Alright, so let's take a look at the top. Yeah. Perfect Effect isn't quite recognized for its for the design of its packages, but you know, this will do. And the bottom are some of the accessories or parts that you can expect from the box. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's open this baby up. Alright guys, so here I've proceeded on to slide the plastic tray with the figure inside out of the box. So it's typical of Perfect Effects Transmetal figures. This being the second one, of course. The first one being the Beast Gorilla, or commonly known as Optimal Optimus. It came fully transformed in its robot mode. Alright, so it's pretty much the same for this. Alright, so this is the figure still in the plastic tray. And as you can see, there's an alternate face here at the bottom. Alright, that's the smiley face of Megatron. Alright, so let's open this tray up and take a look inside. Right guys, so before I proceed further, do take note there are two layers to the plastic tray. The first layer being the figure itself, so that was what was removed earlier, and the second tray contains the it looks like the tail of the dragon and the set of wings. Alright, so I'm just gonna undo the other components out right now. Stay tuned! Alright guys, so I proceeded on to to remove the wing pieces. Wing pieces fell out from the plastic tray, and we have here what I can safely assume would be the tail of the dragon, but I'm not sure how I'll put it on the figure. But let's take a look at the figure. Let's look at the head sculpt. Let's look at the face sculpt. It's nice. It's nicely done. Alright, so this is the alternate face. I like this a lot. Alright, that's really cool. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at the articulation. Alright guys, so here we have the fully formed with full attachments on Transmetal Megatron. What a sight. Alright, so basically I proceeded on to change the face sculpt to the green that we all have come to love. Alright, just look at that. Okay, before I proceed on to switch on this turntable, I just want to highlight that the figure came with the instructions to transform it into the robot mode, and also to transform it into, I don't know why they call it the ground mode, but to the beast mode. Alright, so there you have it. Alright, so I'm just going to switch on the turntable so you guys can have a better look at the whole figure. Alright. Okay, so basically what I've shown earlier regarding the wings. The wings are just a clip-on. Actually, it's just a slide-on. So there's an attachment at the back of the body that you see there, just turning around. So you just have to slot it in. Alright, and the tail portion, I have to probably review the cartoons again. So apparently the tail portion is just a ball joint attached to the back of the head. I'm not sure whether that's how it was in the cartoon, but perhaps, yeah, perhaps it was. No? So, alright, so first hand, without taking a look at the articulation of this figure, I can tell you it's top notch, it's top drawer. Now the wings are plastic, but no, it feels you can feel the quality in the product. It has stability, it feels good to the touch. It's something you might want to, you might actually enjoy handling and manipulating around into different poses. So yeah, I think this is a wonderful figure from Perfect Effect by Perfect Effect. Alright, let's take a look at that. Yeah, so that was the tail portion that I was talking about earlier. So it's attached to the back of the head. The dribbling on this figure is actually really well done, but at the same time I sort of like to highlight that some of the pieces in this figure is actually kind of sharp, so I kind of got myself a little hurt while I was attempting to attach some of the wings and the tail. Alright, so you might want to be careful when you're handling the this beast of a robot, Megatron. It's nice. No regrets at all. I had my reservations, but it's all put to bed when you actually see some of the pictures online, and when you actually have it in hand. It's such a wonderful figure. So alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is before I transform it into its dragon mode, just want to take a look at the articulation of this figure. and perhaps towards the end of the video I'll just pose it up next to Beast Gorilla or Optimal Optimus, as most of us known it to be. Alright, so let's take a closer look. Alright guys, just one thing to note. The wings and the tail behind the head is actually kind of heavy. So the figure is actually being propped up by the tips of the wings. Without it, if you were to extend the wings, it will just fall backwards. So just one thing to note. Alright, so let's take a look at the articulation for the figure. Right guys, so first off, let's take a look at the head. You can do a full 360. The head, then there's this like a flap here, which if you were to change the face sculpt, you just have to flick it upwards. The face will just pop out, and once you're done reattaching it, you can just slot it back down. So it's like Megatron's wearing a cap or something, but this is exactly what he looks like in the featured cartoon. So no complaints here. Alright, so moving on. Okay, for the shoulders, they are double jointed, so there's a flap here that you can lift up, and it has two joints, one closer to the torso, and then we have another that is closer to the forearm, and there is a bicep swivel as well. Okay, for the left arm. And for the left arm, you don't have any wrists. Instead, you have this dragon head, which is typical because I'm not sure. From some of the pictures I was looking at for the masterpiece Beast War Megatron that's going to be released sometime next year, perhaps. Megatron also doesn't have a hand sculpture. Alright, if I'm not mistaken. He has the Tyrannosaurus Rex head for an arm, alright, on that figure as well. So okay, so the arm can do a full 360, so there's a ratcheted joint, so it does full 360, and you would expect no less for this figure for the amount you paid. Alright, so for the neck of the dragon, you have multiple joints. Alright, so you have this portion where it just bends just slightly, and then we have this other portion that bends quite a lot, so it's a ball joint on this part, and then we have the another ball joint here for where the head of the dragon is attached, so you can do a full 360. You can expect to do a full 360 here as well, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You can't twist at this portion because I think it's just the a normal joint. So some of the dribbling you can see at the side here is probably is going to be contributing to the transformation of the robot into the beast mode. Alright, so I'll talk about this later. Right, so let's take a look at the right arm. Okay, for the right arm, as you can see, you have the an actual arm right there. So similarly, you can lift up the shoulder flap, revealing the ratchet joint, and also the I don't think it's double. Yep, it's double jointed as well, and there's a bicep swivel. Okay, it comes with this like a shield portion. I'm not sure what this is, and there seems to be like a dagger attached to it, and you are able to flip the dagger downwards as such. So it's kind of cool. And then we have the some jagged edges of what one would assume would be the scale, the outer axle scale of the Dragon, and then we have the wrist model, which opens up individually. Yes, it looks like it's individual. No, it's not. Okay, so we have the thumb here. We just swivel in and out, and then we have the fingers. Okay, there's it seems to be double jointed, so we have full articulation for each of the fingers. Okay, so you can just push one of them down, the next one comes down as well. Oh no, my mistake. It's just the finger. This is the index finger followed by 3 claws. Alright, this is typical in quite a lot of figures, you know, but yeah, it's good enough. Alright, so let's take a look at the torso of this figure. Okay, the torso, you can, let's take a look. Okay, I would expect it to be able to do a full 360, and so far it seems to be doing just that. Alright, oops, something came off, but that's just another part of the wing component. Oh, would you look at that? So basically there seemed to be like a saber that's hidden within the wings. We can just pop it back in. Okay, alright, so it goes the same with the other wings as well, the other wing as well, so we can just pop it out. Alright, so let's take a look at the legs. Right, for the legs, there's a ratchet joint, very loud, so you can do if you move some of the parts around, you can do a full 360 for legs. No, you can't. Oh, you can. Let me just adjust this just a little bit. Okay. You can actually do a full 360, but there is a bit of a structural resistance to you doing so, so you might want to be careful. So you probably want to adjust it around a bit. So, but yeah, it's possible to do a full 360 with this figure. Then we have the flaps at the back, where the buttocks are, and then we have the flaps at the front to give you more leverage and more room to actually maneuver the legs around. Alright, and then let's take a look. We can bend it at the knees as such. It's really tight joints. Okay, I'm trying not to hurt myself in the process of making this video, so the knees bend this much. Okay, and then we have a bit of we can slant the legs as such. Okay, then you can maneuver the toes. Inwards and outwards this much. Just look at those huge claws. Alright, we have an ankle swivel. Then we have this flap that allows it to move upwards and downwards, probably to facilitate with the transformation process into the Dragon mode. And then that's it. I guess that's pretty much it for the legs. But those articulation in itself is sufficient to manipulate this figure. So there you have it. I'll try to cover as much as possible for the articulation of the robot mode. It's kind of a challenge in the sense that I'm using an iPhone to record this, and can't seem to get like a good image for some of the articulation. So I apologize. Alright, so right now, what I'm going to do is transform Megatron into his beast mode. So, stay tuned! Alright guys, so just before we proceed on to transform, just one last thing. Just to look at the scale and proportion of Transmetal Megatron against some of the other Beast Force figures that I have. So let's start with Dinobot. So here we have Dinobot next to Transmetal Megatron. Megatron towers over Dinobot. That's clear to see. It's way bigger. Alright, so next to Megatron, on your right, here we have the previously released Beast Gorilla, also known as Optimus. Right, they're about the same height, so I can say, they're pretty much the same size. They're an equal opposite of each other. So if you decide to get, Transmetal Megatron, I think it will look amazing if you pair it next to Optimus. Alright, and lastly, here we have Optimus Primal. Alright, the smallest of the lot. So there you have it. Alright, so let's proceed on to transform Megatron. Alright guys, would you just take a look at that? Here, I'm required to relocate to the floor. It's because I just simply do not have space for this huge Transmetal Dragon that you see here in front of you. It's such a sight to behold. I've adjusted some of my lighting as well to cast a bit of a reflection onto the wings of the dragon. So it's such an amazing sight. Alright, so at the back, if you guys notice, we have a Dinobot. So just for scale. Alright, so Dinobot's just pointing towards the amazingness of Transmetal Megatron in his beast mode. Alright, Perfect Effect has really outdone themselves this time with this figure. It's huge, but it scales well with the Optimus that was released some time ago. Just look at that. Alright. So, about the transformation process from the robot mode to the beast mode. If 10 if 10 is considered the hardest in terms of transformation, I would give this about an 8. Alright, it's not that hard, but it still takes quite a bit of manipulation of some of the parts to fix them together and attach some of the components, take it apart and attach it back together. It's not exactly easy, but it's perhaps just me. I had some problems. It took me about an hour or so to just transform him into his beast mode, but as you can see before you, it's really worth the effort. So I'm just trying to enjoy this moment with you as well. I'm not sure whether you guys can see some of the reflection that's casted onto the ground from the wings. It's such a beautiful sight. If you were to purchase this Transmetal Perfect Effect Megatron, oh my, it would look amazing in its beast mode. I'm still torn between whether to transform it back to its robot mode for display, but yeah, the inertia to just transform it back to its robot mode is just too strong. So perhaps I will just keep it in this format for a while. I don't know. But hey, I still have to carry on with this video. Although I love the beast mode, I still have to transform it back to this robot mode, so we can have a bit of a scaling, done between the Megatron and Optimus and some other Beast Wars figures that I have. Alright guys, so let's just enjoy this dragon just a bit before we transform Megatron. Terrorize! Alright guys, so we've come to the end of the video. If you've enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you actually leave a like, and I would really would like to hear more from you guys on what you guys think about this figure that I've just reviewed. Please leave some comments in the comment section below, and if you have not, perhaps you might want to consider subscribing. That would really help this channel out a lot. So once again, this is Hansaurus Rex signing off.